was like, oh yeah, well, it's supposed to get pretty hot today. That kind of bullshit.
Oh, I fucking
and
hate
like
that.
every time I was just kind of like, yeah, no, that's what I heard, whatever. Like I wasn't gonna be a dick, but also like, don't talk to me. And I was kind of trying to speed up a little bit, but he'd keep pace with me, and I was like, just slow down, go away. I don't want to talk. And then we got to the locker room.
Did you try the shoe tie?
No, I didn't, because I was so ready to go home.
One.
I didn't want to lose my pace.
Nah, I gotcha.
But we get to the locker room, taking off our hairnets, our shoe covers and stuff, and we're walking out. He's like, pats me on the back, first of all. He's like, well, hey, man, you have a great day. It was good talking with you. I was like, mm-hmm. I was like, yep, you too. And then I walked off. I swear to God, I thought he was going to follow me to my locker. I was like, this is getting rapey really quick.
Hey, do you mind if I watch you pee?
No, those suck, dude. Like, that's why I never initiate conversations with people, because some people, like, if I really want to and I really need to, I could hold a conversation for a while, even if I don't know the person. But I almost never want to. If I feel like it's going to alleviate some tension, like, oh, this is weird, we don't know each other, but we're stuck here kind of thing,
right?
I'll talk to them. Because then, like, if you're going to be stuck together, you might as well try to...
Yeah, like you're working
and
together
I get that.
Or something like that.
But otherwise, some people they respond differently. Some people would be me, and they're like, mm-hmm, yep. And then other people engage in conversation, and I kind of hate it when they do that, because I'm like, fuck, now I'm stuck talking. But also, it alleviates some tension.
Yeah, or boredom.
Yeah.
Again, like, if you're at work and you're stuck with a new person, you might as well try. Because, more so than the small talk, I hate boredom. But no, and that's why I think I would do so much better, like, in Japan. Because there again, like, we've had this, like, the Japanese won't hold the door for you.
It's a waste of time.
Because they think it's a waste of time, yeah. And that's how they feel about small talk.
That's
exactly how I feel about small talk.
That's why, honestly, I'm at the point where, unless I'm either trying to get laid or it's about something important, I don't like texting people. I really don't. I'm in the mentality now.
Yeah, I understand it completely.
I'm in the mentality now where I just want to go through life, and I don't want to be bugged by people. I've got my few friends I like hanging out with, whatever. I like talking to them. But, God, just let me work. I just want to work. I want to sleep and hang out once a week. And that's good enough for me,
Well, and you get, I don't know.
Except for this, because like this, obviously, I do enjoy doing, no matter how much we may not say so beforehand. We're like, fuck.
God, dude, I don't want to do radio today.
Who was it that just texted me today? Hey, are you sick or anything? No, why? Because I really don't want to do the show today. That cracked me up. I thought it was because yesterday my throat was hurting and maybe you're checking up on me.
No.
I got that. I was fuck.
Look,
me either, man. I'm running on 2 hours of sleep.
I was kind of banking on, like, maybe you'd be like, yeah, dude, I'm still not feeling well.
Like, trying to get out of it?
And I'd be like, oh, all right, well, okay, we won't do it. No, man, the biggest thing is, like, we had a really long show yesterday. Like, really long.
Was it,
and it
just, 1 to 3?
It was, like... probably a little before 1 or maybe just a little bit after 1. But we went until like damn near 4.
Oh.
Yeah, we started talking and like it just drained me.
Yeah, I bet.
And like, I don't know, like you had texted me too. Because I wanted to do some just kind of fun, stupid shit today. And you're like, yeah, but we should really talk about the shooting in Texas. And yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, like kind of came... No, I'm not annoyed. I was just like, dude, I don't even know what to say anymore.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't know you guys talked about it yesterday.
It is not even that. Like, even because that was kind of the same response I gave Will yesterday. Was it just like, I don't know. I can throw down facts. I can say this is what we should do. This is what we shouldn't do. I can say this, like, and this is a true statement. Look it up. Do the research. It's safer to send your kid to Iraq or any other war zone right now than it is to send your kid to school.
Yeah.
Meaning more American students have died than American soldiers.
Yeah.
That's by gunshots. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. Like, if that's not enough to change some people's minds or to make them think, hey, we should really do something. I don't care if it's we should fund the schools more so they can afford metal detectors. I don't give a shit what it is, But let's have the conversation. But we can't even have the conversation. It's, I want my guns. Well, yeah, but what about look at the violence we're breeding. Look at this whole, this whole situation. It's awful. I want my guns. All right. I'm done talking about. You don't give a shit about your kid? Fine. I don't care. I don't either. Just die. Go away. I wish you were still in school. But no, I mean, damn, fucking ridiculous. I just get that whole conversation. I'm almost just done with it. I don't know if you've seen
it. It is hard to come up with new points at this.
There's not and the thing is, there's not new points. It's the same fucking points
on both sides. Really, I mean,
right?
You can only say it so much before it's like, okay, here's how it is.
On the other side, I don't understand how much more they can be stuck to the point of, yeah, but what if the government attacks us?
Oh, I know.
Oh, shut up.
I know.
What if you shit a literal brick? I mean, then you could be a construction worker. Like, what if I jizz gold? Then that's awesome. I'll give facials to every. That's not gonna happen. Is the point? And if we live our life on what ifs, then we might as well just not live our fucking life.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I haven't talked about a lot of and again, we do need to address the fact that there are actually a few new points that they're talking about. And
right?
Yeah. And namely in Texas right now, which I have a video if you want me to cue that up. We'll get that one.
We can. I didn't realize they'd come out with any new points. Did you hear about, while you're pulling that up, did you hear about that chick who took your senior photos on campus with the gun?
Jesus Christ. I actually think I saw something about that, but I didn't.
Why did you say Jesus Christ?
Oh, because it's just so stupid.
No, and so I'm surprised you haven't heard more about this.
I think
it's been huge.
I dropped out this weekend, honestly.
So, honestly, actually, my buddy Garrett knows her. I can't remember her name, though. It's like Mackenzie or something, I think.
Of course it is.
Right. And she took her senior photos at Kent University. And
you mean where they had that shooting? Like, what, last year, 2 years ago?
Yep. And so she has an AR slung over her back, and AR-10, I think. And her little graduation cap, it says, "Come and take it," with a gun in the middle. I know. And
can I guess that she's not going on to college?
And so, well, it was because she graduated.
Oh, she graduated college.
Yeah, and so that was because they have a strict gun policy there.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so,
you would think.
Yeah, right. And I, don't get me wrong, I get it. Like, gun-free zone doesn't mean anything, whatever. People can still bring guns on there if they want. But it was the whole fact that they had the policy there that irks me. Apparently, they do have an open carry thing, but I think it's still the fact that if you say don't bring guns here and you literally do it just to say fuck you, you're a problem, in my opinion.
I think so.
But also,
I mean, that's
the biggest thing.
Honestly, that's like, I don't know, showing up at like a hashtag Me Too rally.
Yeah, all right. Jesus Christ. I know this is a touchy subject, but
I'm choking. No, like, what is those things? The women marches.
Clear your throat, damn it.
I can't.
The women's marches for like equality?
No, the rape.
Yeah, me too. Hashtag Me Too. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, but I thought it was called something different now. Time's Up. Is that it now?
I haven't heard that.
No, I don't know, but dressed like Bill Cosby. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly. Well, and one of the big things that I disagree with completely from the left is that
women talking.
Yes. No, it's this. There's been a point that's been trying to be made about how she's part of the problem why kids are shooting up schools, because she brought a gun on campus. And I'm like, no, that's too much. That's not why kids are shooting up schools. She's not promoting kids shooting up schools.
No.
So I'm sorry.
She's not. No.
She's not. There's also been the white privilege thing, which to a certain degree I could see, because there's been
100%.
There's been a picture floating around. You've probably seen it. It's a dad and his daughter, and they're both holding Uzis, right? Mm-hmm. That picture has been twisted so much. The original picture of the article that it's in, they're both Second Amendment people, but like they're just showing like, hey, look, it doesn't matter what kind of gun. We're black. We support the Second Amendment kind of thing. Like these are legal, et cetera, because they were legal. There's civilian issued. Whatever.
Right.
But the whole point was like, hey, you know, Second Amendment. Ooh, yeah. But it's been twisted to show like, oh, well, you know, see, they're just thugs and all this stuff. whatever. Yeah. But the whole point was that, you know, if a black guy had walked on campus with an AR and took his pictures, he'd probably be dead, honestly.
Yeah, no.
And I agree with that completely.
Without even a question.
Oh, yeah. So I'm surprised you haven't heard more about it.
No, I saw something about it. Like I said, I kind of dropped out. I was doing a lot more dork research this weekend than I was like actual news.
Did you find anything cool?
I found out why we can't ever have a storm like Saturn does.
Why?
Just our like, for one, our planet doesn't rotate fast enough, and our atmosphere is a lot thinner.
It's too bad. I think we could use a good one of those.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that important, but it was, you know. All right, here's a video. This is both the NRA, their new boss, which I'll talk about him a little bit, and Dan Patrick. Not the Dan Patrick you might think of, 'cause that's who I thought, but no, the governor of Texas.
Santa Fe, Texas became the 288th school to have a shooting in this country since 2009. Just some perspective. Consider the other numbers right there on your screen. During that same time period, Mexico had 8 school shootings. Russia, Germany, Greece, China each had 1. 288. Begs the question, why so many school shootings in the U.S.? Well, the lieutenant governor of Texas has blamed a lot of things for this shooting, except guns. Among the reasons, violent video games, kicking God out of school. Here's more of what Dan Patrick says could be responsible for so many shootings in this country.
There aren't enough
play by
people
play.
to put a guard at every entrance and exit. Had there been one single entrance possibly for every student, maybe he would have been stopped.
Got to stop that one real quick.
Wait, did he say an entrance for every single student?
No, if there was an entrance, if there was just one single entrance, that guy would have been stopped. Let me.
That also means there's no exits.
Well, it would be one single exit entrance. I mean, one single...
Yeah.
Let me ask you a good question, though. What happens if a fire broke out right in front of that
exactly.
exit? Yeah, you're an idiot.
Or not to mention they have nowhere to go.
That's the thing, yeah. Like you're just...
barricade the door and then boom.
Dead.
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
Gun control, I believe, starts at home, George. Every person who owns a gun must be accountable for their guns at home. We don't know all the facts yet, but this particular young man got his guns in some way from his parents' home. You should have your guns locked up. We need our teachers to be armed. When you're facing someone who's an active shooter,
Can't even start with
the
this
best
one.
way to take that shooter down is with a gun. But even better than that is 4 or 5 guns to 1. Should we be surprised in this nation? We have devalued life, whether it's through abortion, whether it's the breakup of families, through violent movies, and particularly violent video games.
Fuck you. How dare you blame divorce and abortion on school shootings, by the way?
Yeah.
And video games. Okay, most violent video game, I'm going to go on a limb and say was probably GTA 5.
Oh, yeah.
Probably, right? It came out a long time ago.
And by the way, I'm so happy that you had abortion and school shootings in the same sentence, because that just proves the point that you care so much about a fucking sack of meat but you don't care about the actual lives
Dude,
that are being destroyed.
that's a conservative thing too.
Yeah.
Is they give a shit about it before it's actually born. But once it's born, they don't give a shit about
Yeah.
it. Once you actually should do the job of forming a child and helping it, succeed. That's when they don't give a shit. But anyway, a little bit more.
The incoming president of the NRA is weighing in with reasons of his own, including the drug Ritalin.
And the disease in this case isn't the Second Amendment. The disease is youngsters who are steeped in a culture of violence. They've been drugged in many cases. Nearly all of these perpetrators are male, and they're young teenagers in most cases. And they've come through a culture where violence is commonplace. All we need to do is turn on a TV, go to a movie. If you look at what has happened to the young people, many of these young boys have been on Ritalin since they were in kindergarten. Now, I am certainly not a doctor, I'm a Marine, but I can see those kinds of things happening.
Okay,
Certainly
by the way,
not a doctor. I'm
that's
a
where
Marine.
you
That
should've
means you
stopped.
could never be smart
I'm
enough.
not a fucking doctor.
Yeah.
So shut the fuck up.
Right.
You don't know. Not to mention, can I explain just a little bit about old Ollie North and where Ollie North should actually be right now? Had it not been for just a slight oversight, he would be in prison right now. Mm-hmm. Do you know why? Do you know the story of Oliver North? And I'm going to be honest too. I didn't exactly know the story of Oliver North, except for it was on a American Dad episode. And then I looked further into it and found out it wasn't bullshit. So Oliver North, yeah, he was a Marine. It's true. What he ended up doing, though, was selling secrets and weapons to terrorist groups.
Oh, good.
Yeah, this is the same guy who's now head of the NRA. Yes, he took all that money. He hid it. He got caught. He was going to be, court-martialed and then, if not, put to death. But there was a slight oversight. He got out on a loophole.
Oh, really?
And I don't know what the loophole
How do you find
was.
a loophole on that?
I don't know what it was.
Damn
Maybe
good
they
lawyer.
arrested him wrong. Maybe who knows what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that dude is a fucking treason.
Yeah.
I can't believe that he's even. But that's who the NRA is now. And that's who they take in. Anyone who will suck up to their side, even if they are treasonous assholes.
Yeah.
Fuck Ollie North. And honestly, going after my fucking. But you can eat my asshole. You fucking terrorist.
You know what
prick.
I say? I say we just prove his point. Let's radicalize all the young boys of America who like to play video games and watch violent movies.
Let's do it.
Let's fucking storm the NRA. Let's just have a little civil war out there.
And see, okay, and we also had that.
Don't take that to heart.
Or do. Just, whatever. Neither way, they're going to have their guns unless the president shows up.
That's true.
Because they can't be trusted if the president's around. Which is weird, But we had that. And then we also had this, which is kind of interesting. You were arguably a Democrat, right?
Yeah, I honestly anymore I think I'm more of a centrist, but yeah.
But yeah, let's just say for voting purposes.
Oh, yeah,
right? If you were
definitely.
to sign up, what are you?
Yeah.
Did you know that we have MS-13 members? They're like our hired hitmen.
Democrats?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's badass. Where can I get a personal MS-13?
Well, there's only one guy that we actually have to ask about that because he's the one that knows everything about it.
Okay.
And that's your buddy. Mr. Alex Jones.
Gentlemen, a couple hours
And here he
ago,
is.
I was sitting there getting ready for the broadcast at home, had Fox News on, was on the Drudge Report, was on InfoWars.
Good way to stay in your bubble, by the way.
Saw the Fox News anchors cutting away from the news of a school shooting because they couldn't confirm it even happened. Well, I began to make some phone calls and checked local news, and it shows how scripted national news is. CNN, all of them. It took them over an hour to know what was happening.
By the way,
Texas News.
he goes way
knew right
out
away that
in
there
this
were multiple
huge
dead
circle
people,
to explain this. So
and
just
now it's up
stay
to
with
10.
us for a second.
So it's a real tragedy. The governor says he's on his way to Santa Fe High School. We'll be briefed soon. Press conference at 1 p.m. to provide updates.
This was Friday.
Owen
He was
Schroyer
covering
and more
all
of our
the
crew are loading
shit
up
that happened.
as we speak. I may have already left. They were loading up about 15 minutes ago to beeline down to the coast, almost to the coast. In fact, I've driven by this high school before. Pat Riley's got family, one of our crew members, down there. He's also in contact with them. I am going to open the phones up.
Did they run out of names in Texas? Pat Riley, Dan Patrick?
That area of South Texas. We have a computerized phone system. We can even check the caller ID.
He's been by the high school. He knows.
Have any eyewitnesses or people that have any information for us to be able to speak out? Because we had the same thing with the situation in...
Got Joe Montana over there.
Parkland. We had multiple students call in, later confirm their identities. Media tried to deny it, but later had to confirm they were real, saying that the police stood down. That is now confirmed. I don't know if that happened here, but we know it happened in all these blue state
That's
areas.
Another thing
blue city areas like
about.
Sandy Hook.
That police are letting
there was
them
a stand down, obviously, in Parkland.
Is it possible
that
the police just didn't know who to shoot, and so maybe they were weeding it out?
I don't know if this was a stand down because you have a police officer that was shot. That's not really Texas style to stand down. But Houston and surrounding areas are now blue. And we don't know if they fully...
Us libs, we love getting shot.
...in those areas completely, like they've done in L.A. or Baltimore or areas like Chicago, where we know they stand down and are a bunch of cowards on average. It's just a fact.
That's what we are. We love getting shot. We love shooting kids. It's a liberal agenda.
Something Nancy Pelosi said just last night that is unbelievable.
This is it, by the way.
We're going to get to that in a moment.
You fuck. You got me.
In Texas school shooting, our prayers go out for those that have lost loved ones, those that are injured.
Can I just point something out? Why did this one happen, but Newtown didn't?
So pray for folks at that.
Yeah, it's a good question. We should ask Alex Jones that.
High school.
Alex, if you're listening, call in.
I'm sure you already got nothing else going on.
Latest as that unfolds, but up to 10 people have been killed at a school shooting in Santa Fe, Texas. Police confirm that one person is in custody and a second person has been detained. A police officer is among those injured. Speaking to reporters at the scene, a police spokesman said there had been between 8 and 10 fatalities, including, and I was watching the satellite feeds we have live right before we went live, he indeed said that, including students and school staff.
What you said, you know, that's like just a Google.
Has been confirmed as the shooter.
It looks like he has these like giant satellites.
Images
and all this,
from the scene show the extent of the police presence with students lined up outside the premises.
I mean, he has more money than you would expect, but
are you sure? Now,
before we go any further with
that, it's a good point.
This ties into the whole MS-13 situation.
Here we go. Here we go.
MS-13 is a Central American gang that comes all the way up into Mexico. It rivals any other Latin American gang for violence and evil. They're estimated to have killed hundreds of thousands of people in Central America, Mexico, and the United States. They mainly feed on Hispanics. And to have Trump openly in a video conference that we played yesterday, that we have again to play now, he's asked about MS-13 by some sheriff's department people, and Trump says, yeah, they're absolute animals. I don't think that's a strong enough word. How about monsters who are into a total death cult?
About sexy monsters.
Right, people like ISIS. And the media cut off the front of him being asked about MS-13 so they could say, Trump just called all border crossers animals. So that people like Spike Lee can go on TV years later and say that, you know, he said all Hispanics are animals. Everybody goes, yeah. This is the deception.
I like being called a border crosser.
This is the garbage. Well, MS-13 has killed thousands and thousands of people in the U.S. But when they kill somebody, it hardly even makes the news. Or in some cases, juries will just let people off that kill people to virtue signal. Now, AP and others have had to retract because he was clearly referring to MS-13, not saying border crossers are animals. I saw Juan Williams on Fox News this morning saying that, well, you know, Trump does still mean this, and Trump's a bad guy.
It is true.
They're going to double down, but Nancy Pelosi took the cake because all this ties together. You've got 10 people dead with some deranged killer, probably on serotonin reuptake inhibitors, just like the last shooter in Parkland was. And he'd been under government custody. And he'd been on a crime prevention program because it was racist, they said, to put anybody with a Hispanic last name in jail for burglary, vandalism, death threats, saying he'd school shoot.
Okay, wait. I want someone to look that up because I can almost guarantee that they don't care what your last name is. If you have a Mexican last name or a Hispanic last name, you're going to go to jail for burglary,
Right.
domestic violence, or any of that. You're a fucking idiot, Alex. But anyway, that's not even... Yeah. And he slips it in quick, so you have to listen really close.
By the way, you know what's really funny? Is he totally has the chew in during all this, and I want nothing more than for him to get really mad and just accidentally spit his chew everywhere.
I know.
He should have been in a mental institution. He'd been in government custody. He'd been in a government facility. Look for that again. Some isolated, devil worshiper, drug head, foster care type.
It's an easy... yeah.
Again, school shootings in the country, only about 56 on average every year die in a mass shooting at a school.
False.
It's still too much. It's still horrible. It's still terrible, even though 10,000 die,
False.
again, in their backyard swimming pools or in the lake.
Okay, see, that's
Thousands
actually
die
true.
on boats every year, crashing into jet skis. But we don't have those.
Hold on, let me go through that real quick. Okay, what he's referencing, though, is the gun per child death in America, which was a stat done by a show called Freakonomics, which their statistic is based on a 2005.
Oh.
Yeah, the whole kid swimming pool, it's 1 in 1,000. That was done last year.
Oh.
So, there's a little difference.
Yeah.
And, I mean, as the last report we saw, since 2009, there's been 288 school shootings.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, 4 years after the statistic that he's talking about. But anyway, I'll let him run his stupid mouth.
Blown out of proportion into the world. They do on guns because it can be blamed on gun owners.
By the way, we'll say this while he's doing this.
So
there's 19
they
children
don't magnify
hurt
what MS-13 does, or how many
killed
cops they
every
kill,
day
or
in
all
America
the
by guns.
methamphetamine they dump on the streets, or
From
all the
shootings,
torturing
or
and
just-
murder
Yeah.
and devil worship. That's what they're involved in as a cult.
ton.
There's no coverage of that to speak of. But when there's a school shooting, they magnify it to project guilt on everybody. So, in essence, Nancy Pelosi coming out and saying Trump shouldn't talk bad about MS-13. We're all God's children. And Juan Williams said the same thing this morning. I saw him on Fox News. What a disgraceful NPR reporter.
This reach.
By extension, she's saying the shooter that killed 10 innocent people and the numbers growing as they fight for their lives, by extension, she's saying that person's God's children and we shouldn't call him an animal or a monster. The guy that shot these people is worse than an animal. He's a monster and a piece of garbage and probably on government-pushed psychotropic drugs because almost every other one of them has been.
Let me show you how that works. Jeffrey Dahmer was a pedophile and a white guy and a fucking child murderer. So by extension, Alex Jones is a like you can do that with anything, you stupid fat fuck. Still not the point.
So think about that.
As bad as that was, that's still
Nancy
not.
Pelosi is in essence saying, don't call this guy an animal or a monster. Because she's saying about MS-13 thousands of times worse conservatively than this killer. In the aggregate, she's saying, don't talk bad about them, and they're all acting sad because the Democratic Party uses MS-13 to kill people. I have confirmed
There it is,
this with
right
our law
there.
enforcement and Army sources.
Wait,
I've confirmed
wait,
it with
wait.
CIA's.
He's confirmed it
I-
with law enforcement and
I
military
want
services.
the reports on that.
I do
that
too.
the Democratic Party is using MS-13 to kill people. I want reports. I don't care where, but I have to see these
Please,
reports.
for the love of God, I will literally, and I mean this with my entire heart, I will literally suck the dick of anybody who brings this up.
Yes,
I'm serious.
yeah.
I totally will.
If you have
can get me,
legit reports
and not just like
that
on a
say-
note paper saying, "What is that movie?" I'm 25.
right.
If you can legit bring us a report that says that a reputable law enforcement or military service, which that's very vague, by the way.
Incredible.
That's not just like a military personnel.
be some dude
that
that
could be like
was a
the
cop.
army. Yeah, or like the army in whole is saying, yeah, Democrats use MS-13, a military
To kill people.
service. But why was I not alerted of this?
This is what I'm saying. Why didn't
I'm
I
pissed
know?
now because I think I think from here on out, if this is true, then every time you register as Democrat, you should automatically get a text that says, this is your designated MS-13 member. This is Jose Valdez down from Central America. What can I do for you today?
If you need anyone killed,
yeah,
just
I'm
hit
your
me
man.
up.
If you want me to eat the Hispanics, I totally will, because that's what my diet consists of. Rocks and Hispanics. I'm like a fucking crocodile.
That's funny. Yeah, no, it's fucking... It's so stupid. And, like, I can't just believe people believe that.
No, I know.
And, like, how can you...
Listen,
This is why he gets in trouble.
And you know what? I really do have to give it to Alex Jones, man. He is a great entertainer. He is. But the problem is people take him for serious. And, I mean, he thinks he's serious, too.
He does.
I really do think he believes all this. But just, like, fuck.
But, I mean, there again, though, he said... He was basing, there again, that... You know, just like some of his information. And there again, there's a lot of people that believe this guy. That, 56 kids have been hurt or killed by guns so far this year, right? Which, again, is based on a really old fucking number. Do you know how many kids, and this was based off last year's statistics, how many kids get hurt or killed by guns every year? And we're actually marking a higher this year. But last year's total was 6,700 children.
Shit.
It's a lot of... That's way, way more than the 56 for the first quarter. No.
Is that counting Chicago?
Yeah, but I mean, most of the shootings in Chicago aren't even kids.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
I'd say it's still a decent amount of
And by the way, I should say the caveat with that, too, is that it's 12 or younger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, that 12...
Because I was thinking
that
kids
12
still
to 18,
like 16, honestly.
The 12 to 18 mark, which is still kids, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Who knows? That number could actually be up to 14,000.
Fuck.
And I'm just off top of my head doubling that because, I mean, they're in more dangerous situations.
Every time I listen to...
How the fuck do you get off saying this shit?
Every time I listen to a piece by Alex Jones, every time... It blows my mind, the shit that he's able to come up with. Like that time that we were listening. It's still one of my favorite things he's ever said. He's like, well, I'm not saying Disney's raping kids and it's owned by aliens. Like, he fucking said that. And
yeah, I know.
What? Hang on. He loves to go for that far reach, though.
This one was huge, though.
Massive.
You give me...
I damn near thought he was going to say Nancy Pelosi was in MS-13.
I honestly thought that too. But you take a school shooting that had just happened. I mean, that was just going on right now for him. Then you take MS-13 and Nancy Pelosi, and he's like, I got it. I'm going to wrap this all up in one bundle.
By the way, not to be that guy, not that I'm condoning it.
And basically, by the way, he's trying to say that Democrats support the mass shooters. Even though we're trying to take away your guns and we're totally against the guns, but we support the mass shooters.
Don't you think that if Democrats really did control MS-13, don't you think there'd be a lot of suspicious deaths on the Republican side? And I'm not saying that like Democrats are all out for blood, but I am saying that each side has shitty, shady people.
Let me ask you too. Yeah, if you had your own,
and you really think Alex Jones would still be around?
That's what I was about to say. If I had my own MS-13 guy, that I could control, either he'd be arrested because he'd been trying to do some really. Let's just say he'd be trying to get someone who's really hard to kill.
Yeah,
someone that has a lot of protection. And look, okay, I'll just come out with it. Dan Harmon. Because fuck you, Dan Harmon.
Yeah.
Make more shit.
Yeah. Quicker.
No. But yeah, I mean, no, there would be somebody that, yeah.
You really don't think that, like, Alex Jones, after he says something, especially after this, he'd be dead by now.
Yeah,
or soon.
Totally.
You don't think that Alex Jones would be dead? You
there's
don't
somebody
think
else
Trump
that
would
we're
be dead?
waiting for, like, a heart attack to kill him. We could just send MS-13 to get him, but no, we have to rely on the plaque in his arteries to build up and do the job. Yeah, I mean... Which,
I don't know how well he'd blend in. He's no Agent 47. Walks in there with all these face tattoos. What's up, essay? Are you a new hire? Yeah, fool.
Is this a par 4 course? Yeah.
I'm here for the quinceañera.
Wouldn't work out so much. True. Very,
Bring me
very
to
true.
your leader, eh?
But yes, the attempt. The attempt.
Yeah, like-
we would at least see the attempts.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying. I don't know, man.
Because, again, not saying that Democrats are all like that, but each side has really shady people.
Oh,
Really
for
shady
sure.
people.
For sure.
So, I mean, if they really did control them.
I mean, dude, I would, if we really did control, if we had that power, I guarantee you Hillary would have sent some.
She probably did.
I mean,
It was
if she-
they were probably the ones that attacked Benghazi.
probably.
Yeah. Jesus. That's probably why that comedian died, too. After he made fun of her and he died. Remember that?
No,
Oh, you don't remember that?
I don't.
That was a huge thing during the campaign because he wasn't like a big ranking comedian, but
Oh.
he was a
Did
comedian.
Kevin Meaney make fun of her?
I wish Dane Cook could make fun of her. No, but he like was doing a stand-up show or whatever. I wish I could remember his name. And he was like, it was either stand-up or he tweeted something, whatever. He made a joke about her. And like soon after, I think he got into an accident. I think it was like a car crash or something. He died somehow or went missing. And everyone was like, oh, well, you know, he was talking bad about Hillary Clinton and she sent someone to kill him. Are you looking it up?
No.
Oh.
No. That's
Yeah, that was that because that's where the whole Hillary Clinton sending people out to kill other people. That's where that all started.
Really.
Yeah,
That's
she has time to waste on a comedian in the middle of a campaign.
you know, what else is she doing? Let's be honest.
Well, I still think she had a double. I still think that she was like on her deathbed through this whole thing because for a little while she couldn't hardly stand up at the podium.
It's true.
And then all of a sudden she was okay towards the end.
I mean, she's still not dead yet, and she hasn't been
Unless that's her double.
She hasn't been diagnosed with any major medical
right?
issues. I mean, Melania has, which is but
Oh, really?
kidney.
Ooh.
Oh, you weren't here. I forget. You've been gone for like a week.
Yeah, dude.
Um,
This is my first show in literally
and Melania's fine too, by the way. But I'm just saying that was one of the big things that you brought up was like, she's not gonna make it.
Yeah.
Past, inauguration. She's on her way out. Yeah, she's still kind of living.
Yeah, she is.
Seems fine.
Apparently pretty well, too.
Yeah,
I mean,
she
like,
seems pretty. I mean, she probably seems healthier than me.
yeah.
She like jogs and shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Ugh.
it's more than me. Yeah.
Ugh.
But yeah, no, I don't know. Like, you just go through all the numbers, and I don't know. I don't have too much more to say than what hasn't been said. I mean, do you have any, like, if I was to say, look, Cody, I'm going to give you the platform right now, and you get to talk to people who are really passionate about the Second Amendment, and you're just going to convey why we should look at gun reform. We should look at something to change what's going on. What would you say?
I would probably say something. It's a very valid point that has actually been brought up by the right a lot. I would say that what we're going to do is we're going to crack down on gun reform, let that set for about 10, 15 years, and then we're going to come and take your guns. And the point that I like to make is get over it. Because that seems to be your whole thing about Donald Trump, so get over it. How about that? That's what I'd say to the right.
That would
Hit him with the 1-2 punch.
That would be what you said?
No, probably not. I mean, are you being serious? Or?
Yeah. I'm serious.
Well, as far as what we can do about gun control,
Yeah.
I mean, I like the whole thing about, the 20 years minimum. If Thank you. Thank you for that.
You have a problem?
None. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Well played.
No, seriously, though, there's nothing more we can say. You've talked your balls off, so
Oh my God, yes. And it was funny because I was in the locker room at work, and it was the day of the Texas shooting, and I heard someone on the other side of the lockers. They were talking about it, and they're like, "Man, we just need to arm these teachers. It's common sense. Why aren't we doing it?" I'm like, "What? What's common sense about that?"
That's the truth. I know.
He's like, "We just need more guns," and that's when he said, "It's just common sense." Bitch, where? Where is this common sense you're talking about?
I think that's a good analogy for everything, though.
It's just common sense.
If we want less of something to happen, we should bring more of the same thing.
Exactly.
Meaning, like, if you have a teenage daughter, you need more hard dicks around her. That's the answer. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that would work, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you'd be happy with that.
It would if you own a liquor store.
If you have diabetes, you should just
Perfect.
surround yourself in chocolate cake.
Yes. But where are the feet, though? Looking at you, Will. Don't lose your feet.
Yeah, you got a problem with the painkillers? Swim in opioids.
Yeah, exactly.
More of the problem is gonna fix the problem.
It is at some point.
I think that's definitely the solution. But yeah, I mean, we've been through that, and it's like, I don't know.
What else are you gonna say? You know,
That's really where I keep coming.
it gets so tedious. Like, fuck, dude, I've argued this point so many times.
And I'll be honest too, if there was something different about this case, like something that just really blaringly different, then I'd bring it out. But it's the same thing.
Yeah,
just seeing it, dude, that's sad too.
Yeah.
I mean, just to be like, we're at a point where fuck it. That's not a good place to be.
No, not with this.
I don't know. You get nowhere with anything. What's gonna be your reaction?
Fuck it.
Yeah, if you don't care on your side, most liberals and stuff, we're getting to a point where we're homeschooling anyway because we're
smarter.
We're so triggered by people calling our kids special that we can't handle that anyway, so we're keeping them at home. So fine, send your kids to death camp. I don't care.
Our kids will be safe at home, and our kids won't have to worry about playing with guns, just crossbows.
Or words that might offend them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we really, yeah. What are you going to do anymore? No one cares. No one gives a shit.
No, they really don't.
But anyway, that's about it for us. We got to do a little bit of I don't really know what I would call it.
That's a really good.
I'm just going to say we're doing a short show. There is a reason, but I don't know how to say it.
You scared the hell out
Every
of me.
time
I never
that comes on,
expected.
that freaks you out. You're the one giving me the signal. I was going to go a little bit longer, by the way, but Cody was like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
That's fine. Anyway,
Got a hot
thanks
date
a lot
with
for
my right
listening, guys. Wednesday we'll be doing a full show. Matt should be here. I implore you guys to give us a call. We're actually going to need you guys. Trust me, we're going to need you on Wednesday. We're going to, unless something crazy happens, probably a little bit lighter show. We got some bits lined up. We got some funny shit. Doesn't all have to be about kids getting killed and an orange orangutan destroying our country. It can be about funny stuff too. So anyway, thanks a lot for listening today. Make sure to check out Platinum PDR, Revolution Auto Sales. Those two places kind of go hand in hand. You got to check them out. If you have anything, any dents or windshield broke, anything like that, Platinum PDR is the place to go. If you need a new vehicle, Revolution Auto Sales, just fucking get a new one.
Yeah.
Don't deal with the fucked up one. Anyway, like I said, we'll be back Wednesday, Friday, 5 to 7. And we'll be going on tomorrow and Thursday. We got the throwback on Tuesday, 7 to 9:30, and Thursday, the Metal Meltdown. And, you got to pay attention to the polls. It's doing that whole thing. Who's winning, who's losing. I think Guns N' Roses. And so, I don't... Honestly, I got to be honest. I tapped out last week. I'm not exactly sure. But make sure you get involved in that. It's a great show, too. It's fun, easy. It's not like our show where we make you think sometimes or depress you or whatever. Any of those. Jay Dillon on Facebook. Hit me up there. I'm also really active on the Twitter. Hit me up there as well. Make sure to check out the app, 106.6 The Blast. There you have the Facebook page, you have the YouTube. A lot of stuff going on. As you can tell, though, this is why we are cutting early. My throat is literally giving out. But, yeah, 106 Brew Rock Radio is the website. From there, like I said, get the fucking app. There's a lot of good shit on there. And make sure to check out the YouTube page. Will is finally getting on, updating that thing when he should, so it's going to be more up to date. Which is, I know it's incredibly important because I've heard a lot of you complain about that. So yeah, we'll be more current on the YouTube. Make sure you're checking that out. What you got, Cody?
Check us out on Twitter as well. Mine is Magnus Apex. His is JC Show VIP. Matt is Bunnies and Naps. Send him lots of dick pics. Still haven't gotten any of those.
No, it's bullshit.
But us, send the good stuff. Send questions, comments, concerns, local music, anything you want us to talk about, any thoughts on what we talked about. Be sure to tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, 5 to 7.
We love you. We'll see you Wednesday.